stop and listen, please. This isn't, it's just a reminder. Hey, warriors. So, is it just me or does December feel louder than most Decembers? You know, um, but feeling emptier at the same time, you know? Um, we call it the holiday season, but spiritually, this is the month when most people are being pulled away from themselves and they're supposed to be going inward the most. There's a reason why ancient cultures treated the winter solstice as sacred. you know the earth is quieting, the light is the lowest, the veil between the physical and the unseen is thin, especially this year. Okay. This is a time of reflection and vision and truth, but modern life does the opposite, right? More noise, more pressure, more fucking expectations, more spending, more distractions, and that's not an accident. Obviously, we all know this. I get that. But like I said, this is your reminder, you know, um, and even though it's not an accident, get this clear right now. It doesn't mean some evil forces are out to get you, okay? But it does mean that we are living in a system that keeps you so busy that you don't get still enough to hear yourself, you know? And like I said, that's not an accident. Right now, especially this very December, you need to be going inward the most. Okay? I can't stress it enough. I just can't. You know, this is what people sometimes call spiritual fare. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or not. But it doesn't look like a battle. It looks more like scrolling instead of breathing, spending instead of feeling, drinking instead of remembering. That kind of thing. That's what it feels like. Performing instead of being. And come on, dude, we've all been to our family get togethers. How many of you are actually not performing? Anyways, the war isn't outside of you. It's between, who you're told to be and who you actually are. Okay? And December is the month where this contrast is, becomes very loud, especially this year. They know what's happening. They know people are waking up. I don't know. If you've been tired, emotional, reflective, I don't know, or even withdrawn, you're not off. You're actually quite in tune. Your soul is responding to, that natural inward pull. And the world is trying to drown that out with celebration, obligation, and fucking noise. I don't know. Nothing is trying to harm you, but something is trying to distract you. Okay? And awareness is your power. So if you don't feel like, being loud this month, don't. If you don't feel like performing joy, don't. If you feel more called to be quiet and write and pray and walk and feel and honor that instead, because December is not a month of, doing like we're, raised to believe. It's a month of remembering, who you are before the world told you what to be. Okay? And that is the real evolution. Legends. I love you.